Hey guys, welcome back. So guys, we are continuing our Angular CRUD application. So now guys, in this video, we are going to edit and update the data. Okay. So basically as we have this create form, same way we are going to for the edit form and update the data from that form and then get back to this page. Okay. So now guys, let's get started. So first let's move to this edit button. Yep, let's move back to our Angular application. And here is my student page component where we have listed all the data. Done. So here is my edit button. And now guys, at this router link, I just want to add a route with the name students forward slash the ID and then again edit. So here your ID will be coming. So let us just open and close double curly brace and just pass this item.id. So now guys, let's create this route. So let's copy this and get back to our routing.module.ts, which is app routing. And yep guys, so let me paste here, copy and paste. So let's edit here and let me remove it. So here we change the path forward slash and then colon ID. Okay, here student edit, and now we need to create a student edit page. Let's open one new terminal here and just type the command ng generate component and the page name. So I'm following one structure here guys. So it's inside the pages folder and going to create student edit, hit enter. Okay, so all the component is created guys for student edit, and now guys let's import that component. So student edit component, and it has imported the class. Here we move, and now guys you can go back to that student edit HTML page. And now guys let's open and close div in a h3 tag, tell that edit student. Let's save, and now you can route and see the page is opening or not. So let's click on edit, and here you see perfect on the edit student page with the correct URL. Done guys. And now guys, let us copy the create form and paste inside our edit form. As simple, let's go to student create component.html. Let's copy everything and paste in our student edit component.html. Let's paste it. That's it guys. So now what we have to do, let's change the heading edit, and here back button, it's going to be the same, and all this variable also we have to add in our component.ts file. And now guys, one thing you have to change here, instead of save student, let's make it to update student. So it's going to be the same input fields, same error fields, all the save button. Now let's rename this save to update. Okay, so save it, and now guys you can just get back to the student create component.ts file, and let's copy the variables whatever we have there. So now guys, let us just copy these three variables and let's get back to our edit component.ts file and paste it. Done. So now guys, I just want to create one variable called student. So student not colon any. So now let us copy this variable and just paste inside your form. Okay, student edit component.html, and there we are calling directly name here, right? So we'll be calling student.name. Okay, so we are going to create in this format. So let us just update that student.name, student.course, email, and student.phone. That's it guys. And now guys, you can get back again to your component. So now here we start with the fetching of data. So first step, what we are going to do on the page load, we need to get the ID of this URL. Okay, so from this ID we'll be getting it. Let's get back. So guys, ng on init function, this dot student ID. Okay, we don't have a variable. Let's create that student ID variable here. D not colon any, or just add number also, it's fine. So I'm going to add a number because I know that I'm getting the ID. So now you use this here equal to then your router. So for that you just need to use this active router, use a constructor function, open and close curly brace. Inside this function is a private route colon your activate route. Okay, activated route. So if you just press tab and here the class imports. Okay, so it's imported. And now guys, with this help of route, we are going to get the ID. So this dot route dot your snapshot dot param dot get function. From that get function, I mentioned its ID. So make sure it is you are giving ID only. Why? Because you are passing it here as ID. Okay. So here we are facing error like type string null but assignable to number. Let's make it to any. Okay. So there will be no warnings. Now guys, let us console log or just alert it. Let's alert the student ID, save. And now if you refresh, okay, here the edit is, oops, it's showing for this function. Let's create it. So it's not an issue. Let's get back to our student edit form. On the form tag here, we have a update student function. Let's get back and just add that function. Open and close curly brace. Let's save it. And now that has gone perfect. Okay, so now let's go back. Let's click edit on ID2. So here you get in the alert 2. Okay, and then you get the form. Awesome guys. So now you can get back. So we have got the ID, and now with this help of ID, what we'll do, we'll get the single record of the student. So for that guys, we are going to use the student service. If you don't know what is services in Angular, please watch out the video that is how to insert data into database. In that I have explained how services are used. Okay, so now I'm going to use this service here. So let's get back to student service and let's create one function, get student. So it's just single record. I'll create student only. And now let's return this dot, call the HTTP client, that is your HTTP request, and use a get method. And inside this get method, you paste your API. Okay. So my API for getting the student record is, let me show you. Here is the edit option. Copy this and get back to our Angular and paste the URL. So my complete URL is this. So yep, pasted, and here we need to pass the ID. Add a dollar symbol and send the ID. So let me mention that is student ID, and here you get from this variable student ID, and here just pass any. So any data you might be getting, or if you know it is a number, then mention it's a number guys. Okay, and now guys, let's get back to the student edit component.ts file. So I reach there. So now on this function, on the page loads, I want to call that student service. From that student service, we call get student function. So now you need to add here in the constructor private student service colon student service. Okay, just imports its path correctly. It is already imported. So here we move there, and you see that we are already on the same path. Perfect. So now guys, let us copy this function and get back to our edit student. So here you use this dot student service dot your get student function, and inside this get student function we need to pass the ID. Okay, so we are sending the ID, we are getting the API response, and from there what you have to subscribe. So when you subscribe, here you get the response colon and open and close curly brace, where you mention console.log the response, and you need to pass inside the student variable also. So what you are getting first, we need to check that. So let's get back and just open your console, developer tool, refresh. So we are getting errors guys, that is about the input errors. Okay, so it's not able to read that name, but we have got the response here, whatever we did the console log. So here you see in the response we get the student variable. Inside that student we have some records, okay, some input field data. So these data only we are going to append in that student variable. So what we'll do, we'll get back, call the student variable, this dot student equal to response dot student. Okay, so when you get the response, you append that student. Okay, so this is the student. And now, so guys, we are facing error. So it's telling that I don't find any value. So before that only it's throwing the error. So what we can do, there are two ways. You can either use any here and sort the issue in the function, and now the error has gone and you might be facing no errors. Refresh. Okay, you have got all the input fields. Okay, so guys, here if you see, we are still facing this error, but the data has come. So before it gives the data, it is already compiled that I cannot find this detail. So there are two solutions, guys, for this. Either you give it all the details, like use curly brace here equal to and tell that name equal to null in this format, or else what we can do, we can just take this variable and get back to the edit HTML, and here in the complete div, let me open and close, just add ng if condition if this student is loaded. Okay, if has any data, that time you show all these input fields. Okay, let me push this and here you end it. That's it, guys, as simple. Save it, and now you might be getting no errors. Refresh. Awesome. Okay, so now guys, we have got the data. So here you see, and here it is appended. Now let's get back. So what we were working on here, so there are, this is one way. And now guys, what in case if you don't want to give in this method and you want to get the data, so you have to create a interface so that it doesn't give warning. So you can just get back to the student service and move on top, export interface, my student, edit, response. Okay, response, open and close. So first will be what it was like. Okay, so here you see that is status and the student. So there are two response. One is status colon, it's going to be a number. Either you make it small or capital, no worries. Add comma and then student colon and what data you are getting. So in that we are getting all these details. So already, so we have already added this list here. So I have already created that in the first video of insert data. If you don't want also, you can just add a like object I'm getting. Okay, object, that's it. So you can mention in this format also, but I just want to get this here and paste it. That's it. Save it. And please don't add array here because we are getting only single data. Okay, so now you can copy this and get below, and inside this get student, before this get function, open and close angle and paste that. That's it, guys. So here we call this interface, and now you'll be able to fetch the details of student, okay, without any changes here. Awesome. So let's save, and now guys, you can just get back, refresh, all works fine. Okay, so now guys, just let us just add the loading part also. So when the page is loaded, I just want to, this dot is loading equal to true. So here is the is loading variable true. Once the data is loaded, make it to false, false. Now save it, get back, refresh. So here you see how it loads. Awesome, guys. So now guys, let us begin with updating the data. As simple. Let's move on the HTML. So here you see on the form submit, and the button type should be submit. So when you update this, it goes on this ng submit and gets to the update function. So let's move to the coding, and here is your update function. So when we click on update function, we need to get all the input fields. So for that, let's create one input data variable equal to open and close curly brace, where we mention all the requests, what should be sent on the API request. Okay, so that is name, and this dot student dot name. Okay, so I'm getting from this student variable this dot student dot name, student dot course, whatever you send. Let me explain you more here. This is the variable, so I'm going to copy that and paste here. Okay, so no confusion. And then guys, you're going to, for the course and my request in that course, email, this is the input, and finally phone, and this is my phone. Okay, and now guys, let's type the HTTP request for updating the data. This dot, I'm going to use student service. Where is my student service? Let me copy this dot student service dot update student, then use subscribe function, then you'll be getting the response. So before that, I just send this all the request, use comma, and the student ID also we need to send. So for that, where is the student ID? Here it is. We have stored it. Let's copy that and send the student ID also. Awesome. So now guys, let us first create this function in the student service. Let's copy this, get back to the student service. So here we move below, paste the student function name, open and close. First we get the input data, getting that as an object, comma, and I'm getting an ID also, that is student ID, which is in the form of number. All set. And now guys, write the HTTP client request, that is I'm going to use a put method because I have created a API using put method. Let me show you that. So in my Laravel application, I'm using put to update the record. Okay, so let's copy this API, get back and paste here inside the tilde symbol. Let me paste the complete URL. Okay, paste here. And now guys, here we need to send the ID. So this is my student ID. Let me copy it and send the ID. And after this, add a comma and send the input request. As simple guys, it is very clear. Okay, let me zoom it more so you can see clearly. Okay, let's get back, save it. And now guys, you can use this update function. Move back to your edit component.ts file. So now guys, open and close curly brace in the subscribe function, and then use a next colon, open and close bracket of arrow function. So this is for the success response. So here you get response of any response you might get, and you pass that. Let me console.log first. So we log that. So once updated, I just want to alert the message response dot message. Okay, so on the API, I have given the message. Let me confirm it. Let me go to this update function. So once the data is updated, so we get a variable message. Awesome. So let's paste here. Okay, so message is like updated, and this dot is loading equal to false. So when it's successfully done, we need to make it to false. Okay, loading part. We have not set to active. Let me make it to true. So once we click on update, the loader starts, and then once the updated, loading false. And then guys, add a error colon, open bracket, arrow and function. So here you get the error, and this error only you are going to this dot errors equal to error dot errors. Okay, and you can make this to loading false on the error also, and coming in any format. Okay, so it will not give any warnings. So now guys, let me console log and show you this errors, and you move back, refresh. Let's remove this one email, click on update. You will get that 422, which is input error. Okay, this email field is required, you see here, and you have got the response in the error format. So here you see guys, error is the main key. Inside that you find that errors. So I'm taking this error and errors and pasting it. Error and errors. Okay, we are storing in this errors variable, and here is the error variable, and this error variable I'm using in the edit form at this place to show the error whatever we get for that input field. So now guys, done, and now let's try to update the record. So let's refresh, and instead of with Prakash, let's make it to with only, and yep, let me make it to capital. Let's click on update. So let's see, student updated successfully. Okay, and done. Let me refresh. You get that with only, and here capital. Awesome guys, so we have successfully learned how to update the data in our Angular JS CRUD application using Laravel API. So now guys, in this video that's it. Let's continue in next video about how to delete the record using API from the database in Angular. So guys, thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe, like and share.